difficult work with the heavy equipment and chainsaws. Branches, debris, and snapped trees mark this neighborhood today. Extreme heat has been baking Southern California, and now we have thunderstorms, lightning strikes, and heavy winds pounding the region. One neighbor's home security camera recorded this disaster early this morning. Take a look. Caught on camera, a massive tree clobbers a home and knocks out power in the Inland Empire during extreme weather Tuesday morning. No one inside was injured. However, building inspectors were forced to red tag the property, declaring it unlivable because of structural damage.
Our services were taxed. The majority of the calls that we responded to were trees down and power lines down. So the winds generated, the trees to move, making contact with those power lines. Those power lines resulted in power outages.
This happened on Mount Whitney Avenue in Riverside, and it's not an isolated case of nature's fury. Sky 5 discovered downed trees across the community, the result of strong winds and weakened roots. It's all part of a spate of windy, wet, and wild weather slapping Southern California. Back here live, we are going to be talking with the young woman who lives in that home that was crushed coming up in the next hour, and we will continue to follow this breaking, developing news throughout the evening. Again, we'll have much more coming up at 5 p.m. For now, reporting live in Riverside, I'm Chris Wolf, KTLA 5 News.
Chris, thank you. And we're checking in with Casey Montoya. Some green on that map still, Casey.
Yeah, there is. And we're actually starting to see some convection over Ventura County. So just know that over the next couple of hours, we're expecting to see some really strong winds. You can see those lightning strikes popping up on here right now and very heavy downpours. Most of this shower activity, though, is in our desert communities right now. Could see more of the showers and thunderstorms for those desert and mountains as well. This special weather statement you see is because of that activity going on in Ventura County right now. So if you hear the thunder, see the lightning, please go indoors and just know that the flood watch is still in effect for everyone in green until tomorrow night. It includes the Antelope Valley, San Gabriel's, Highway 14 corridor. The threat of thunderstorms is the reason this is in place. We get a lot of water really fast, and that's why we have that threat. Outside right now, it's 78 at LAX. Look at those winds, though, sustained at 21 miles an hour, 90 in Burbank, windy in Long Beach as well. John Wayne Airport, mid-80s for you guys as well. Again, with that humidity, though, it probably feels a little bit warmer than those numbers. Heat advisory extended for LA and Ventura County, coastal valleys until tomorrow. It expires for Orange County and the Inland Empire tonight. As far as temperatures tomorrow, 99 will be the high in Lancaster, 96 for Burbank tomorrow, still 103 in Woodland Hills along the coast, 81 for Santa Monica, 91 in Long Beach, 79 for Newport tomorrow, 96 in Diamond Bar, and 98 tomorrow in Riverside. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Casey. And you can check the latest conditions, temperatures, and forecasts in your neighborhood anytime on our website, ktla.com. Just click on the weather tab or download the free KTLA app. All right, in other news, one firefighter was injured battling a fire at a Chatsworth home this morning. Sky 5 overhead on Christine Place, north of Devonshire Street. Heavy smoke could be seen around the West Valley coming from the two-story house. Everyone inside was able to make it out safely. That firefighter suffered a burn injury and had to be treated. Crews knocked out the fire in about an hour.
A nude woman in a Ford Bronco sparked a 4-hour standoff in Westwood that stretched into rush hour. Video from Sky 5 showed officers negotiating with the woman, stopped along Sepulveda near the 405. This started in Bel Air about 7 a.m. when the woman was heard screaming before leading officers on a short pursuit. The standoff continued for hours until authorities prepared to use tear gas in the vehicle, and she climbed onto the roof of the SUV, then surrendered. Officers covered her with a towel and took her into custody.
When I came out, I was really, really surprised to see the young lady who was in her, brand new Ford Bronco in front of our home here, and definitely not in her right mind.
Officers say they also recovered a hammer and a machete.
8 people have been arrested after anti-ICE demonstrations in downtown Los Angeles. This was the scene on Alameda last night between Temple and Aliso. The LAPD says the demonstration was declared an unlawful assembly, and the arrests were for various offenses, including failure to disperse. One vehicle was also impounded for stopping or parking in a no stopping or parking area. No officers or other citizens were injured.
A federal judge ruled President Trump and his administration broke the law by sending National Guard troops to Los Angeles during immigration protests in June.
KTLA's Rachel Minitoff joins us live from the newsroom with details. Rachel.
John, Sam, good afternoon. The judge is essentially saying the National Guard crossed a line from acting in a supporting role, protecting federal property, which is okay, into directly enforcing everyday laws, which is not okay.
A district court judge says President Donald Trump and his administration willfully violated federal law by sending National Guard troops to Los Angeles. The deployment came in early June after immigration raids prompted days of protests, despite objections from city and state leaders.
The National Guard can be tackling fentanyl, can be fighting wildfires, instead of sitting at and in federal buildings, protecting them from no threats.
In a scathing review, Judge Charles Breyer out of San Francisco raises concerns the president and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth are creating a national police force with the president as its chief. Nearly 5,000 National Guard troops and active duty Marines were deployed. Most have since been returned. And while the judge isn't requiring the 300 remaining troops withdraw completely, he does suggest they received improper training and urged the commander-in-chief to stop using them to execute the laws. U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley taking to X to say the military will remain in Los Angeles. This is a false narrative and a misleading injunction. From the Oval Office today, President Trump defended his decision.
If I didn't send the National Guard into Los Angeles, I would be making an announcement today. I'd be talking about Huntsville, and I'd simultaneously be saying, by the way, the Olympics is not coming to Los Angeles. And even the sheriff, the top law enforcement person in Los Angeles, said we could not have handled it without them.
Mayor Karen Bass says she applauds the court's ruling, and Governor Gavin Newsom agrees, saying his militarization of our streets and use of military against U.S. citizens is illegal. The president has said he plans to send troops to other Democratic-led cities like Baltimore, Chicago, and New York. It's not yet clear if this order will set a precedent elsewhere.
It does not bind other judges in other jurisdictions. Is it persuasive? Could other judges look at what Judge Breyer wrote and think, yes, he's exactly right? Potentially, but Judge Breyer made a lot of his ruling based on the facts of what happened. And so we would have to see if the facts replicate in other areas.
Now, this ruling only applies to the state of California, and it's on hold. It doesn't take effect until next Friday. The Trump administration will probably appeal it to the 9th District and hope that the higher court, which has disagreed with Judge Breyer before, will disagree with him again. That's the latest from the newsroom. I'm Rachel Minitoff. John, back to you.
Rachel, thank you. The Pentagon has approved sending up to 600 military lawyers to the Justice Department to serve as temporary immigration judges. That's according to a memo reviewed by the Associated Press. The effort comes as the Trump administration cracks down on immigration across the country, ramping up arrests and deportations. Immigration courts are already dealing with staffing shortages and a massive backlog of roughly 3.5 million cases that has ballooned in recent years. All right, more coming up on the news at 4.
Laz joins us live. Hey, Laz.
Hey there, guys. In the past, break